This has a major impact on the Padres' future, as a recent stretch of play that has been horrible has led fans to believe that this season might be a wash. Let's talk about it. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Padres Digest with your host, Andrew. After another horrible loss and being swept by one of the worst teams in the league, uh, we're, we're not happy right now. If my voice sounds a little bad, it's because I 100% blew my voice out. Also, please apply. But I 100% threw my voice out when I was yelling at Nestor Cortez yesterday. I was like 3 beers deep, and I might have said some things in Nestor Cortez. So no hate to you, Nestor Cortez, but like also don't give up 3 home runs in a row. But yeah, so if my voice sounds a little quiet, I'm sorry. I gotta rest it. I still have to work later today. Anyways, let's talk about. Well, how am I gonna word it? Let's put it this way. I'm gonna try to play both sides of the fence, and I'm gonna talk about our like trade deadline we just had, the players we got, the players we traded away, all of that. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm having poor people Diet Coke right now. Delicious. Anyways, so let's talk back at what we've done for the trade deadline. The final pieces we got, final pieces we took away. I know most of you guys know this by now, but I think it's good to go over it again. Just take a little sec to, I don't know, revisit it. Okay, sorry, I had a big burp right there. Anyway, so of course we got Mason Miller, JP Sears, Freddie Fermin, Ryan O'Hearn, Laureano, Will Wagner, Nestor Cortez, Jose Quintana. Who did we give up? Literally everybody. Berger, Kolek, Lockridge, Zavrai, and then a butt ton of prospects that you either know or don't know, but you should all know that they're probably good players that could pan out in the future for other teams. Obviously, especially DeVries. DeVries? I don't even remember how to say it anymore. But it's been good and it's been bad, right? So this is not from recent. This is from like the end of August around there. But we do have some good players, obviously, back from because of the trade deadline. Don't look at the first one. Ignore the first one. But Mason Miller just threw an immaculate inning with only sliders. Freddie Fermin, we'll get into him more a little bit later. But I personally think I like Freddie Fermin. But like I said before, I don't like who we gave up for him. And O'Hearn, I don't know exactly if O'Hearn's playing as good as he was with the Orioles as he is with us, but he's still been playing better than what we have. So that's the best way I could word that. And I think Laureano is just the GOAT right now. I saw that catch live yesterday with Laureano. That was insane. So love Laureano. Everyone loves Laureano. And like I said, he has a club option for next year. So we can definitely keep him for cheap next year. But another big thing, of course, since the trade deadline, this is from the 24th, I think, of August. So this probably changed a bit, to be honest, because we used a lot of other pitchers since then. But it's still good, right? We still got good pieces out of that trade deadline. But now we've lost some. So it's a slippery slope. So let's start with the positives, like I said. So let's go back to here. Mason Miller, obviously, massive positive, right? And when Suarez leaves next year, he could be our closer for the future. People want to stretch him as a starter. I'm not really on that train, but if he works out, it works out, right? JP Sears is controllable, but so far he hasn't really impressed anybody except for that one game maybe against the Giants or the A's. But we'll see, right? Fermin, I think, will be a great catcher defensively. I don't know if I want to say hitting wise. I don't want to say he'll make a great backup catcher because I feel like the reason we made this play or this trade is because we expect Fermin to take the next step into being a full-time starting catcher. So again, we'll have to see, right? And then O'Hearn, he's gone. I don't think he's gonna come back. Laureano, we might have him for a year. Will Wagner, I think well, we've seen Will Wagner bat, right? And we see that he hasn't been great, especially in some clutch moments. But I think Will Wagner is one of those players where he's still young, and if you give him a little bit of time, I think, like we've said when we first traded him, he's a very good contact hitter. I don't want to say he'll be the next Arraez because he's not the same kind of style, but I think he'll be a good, solid bench piece in the future, right? And then Cortez, we all saw what happened. We saw what happened to Cortez. I don't need to tell you about that. And then the really big one, I think genuinely might be low-key the biggest move here, depending on how we handle things, but Jorge Quintana. So Quintana, the 18-year-old switch hitter from the Brewers, So this is why also I said in my post yesterday, Nestor. I don't hate the Nestor Cortez trade because like we only gave up Brandon Lockridge for a Nestor Cortez who did have upside, right? I know he hasn't pitched great the past couple of years, and this year he had like 2 starts where he looked horrible, but then he had really good rehab starts. And he looked like there was still something there. And we weren't entirely wrong. Like we saw him pitch well in the Dodgers game, but he hasn't replicated that, right? But I don't hate it because we just gave up Brandon Lockridge for it. But obviously, I think the bigger part of that deal was Quintana. He isn't just a toolbox. He may be a tool shed, 6'2", athletic build with loads of room to fill out. He's an elite athlete with dreamy projection. So there's a ton of upside there, right? So I feel like if you only view this trade deadline as what are you going to do for me right now, you might hate it, right? Because really, only right now, the only ones that are making massive impacts on this team are Miller and Laureano, right? Smaller impacts defensively, at least, Freddie Fermin. And then besides that, not really much anyone else. So for what we tried to piece together, I get what Preller was trying to do, and I'm not saying I agree with it, but let's just say it hasn't worked out, I guess, the way, well, I don't say I guess the way, exactly the way that everyone wanted to, right? So that's very disappointing. So that's so let's put it this way. The positive is that a lot of these moves are wait and see. So I think while it might not be the greatest move right now, but next year maybe we'll have some more possibilities in free agency. Hopefully with that, hopefully with that new, hopefully going through ESPN deal, we'll get more money in. So maybe that gives us more leeway in free agency, and maybe Joe Musgrove will be back, and maybe also please apply. Maybe King will take his option. He won't, but maybe he could. So don't give up on the future. But for right now, things aren't looking great. Right. So let's start with the big one. Like I said, we come back to where'd you go? Yeah, we'll come back to Freddie Fermin and then. So trading this, that's a Kolek Bergert post. I'll talk about it in a sec. But let's start with the top part. I really struggled to understand dealing Ryan Berger and Steven Kolek on July 31st. Just over a month later, that deal looks even worse. Swapping 2 controllable and quality arms in the rotation for Nestor Cortez and JP Sears has been a disaster. So, of course, Mr. Andrew, the stat guy here, I have the pitching stats from this team post All-Star, which I know isn't post trade deadline, but it's close enough, right? And then pre All-Star, and then how we have been the past 7 days, at least mostly starter wise. The last one's a little different, but Nick Pivetta post All-Star game, still good, right? I mean, no one's gonna argue with Nick Pivetta being not good. He's a good pitcher, right? Yu Darvish, we just saw for the first time this year, and he had like a really good game, a fine game, and a couple of not great games, right? So his ERA is at a 5.61, and you can just see what's happened, right? I mean, he's given up more home runs than anyone else post All-Star game, including Nestor Cortez, which is surprising. But yeah, I mean, he's not the same as he was. It sucks. I still feel like there's something there. I just don't think at his age it's something he can necessarily replicate. I can read. Replicate, or you know what I mean. It's not something he can replicate a lot, right? He's getting old. I'm so sorry, Darvish. You're getting old. I love you. You're getting old, right? And then Dylan Cease is technically doing better post All-Star than he was pre All-Star, but not by a lot, right? I mean, his ERA is a 4.64 now, but it was a 4.88 pre All-Star. So, like, statistically speaking, the last game he wasn't horrible, but he looked not great, right? I mean, he didn't give up the runs, but he didn't look good whatsoever, and he still pitches scared, right? And then Nestor Cortez, yeah, I mean, again, one good game against the Dodgers, a couple of okay games, then just a horrible game yesterday. I was like in disbelief watching 3 home runs go over at the same time. Like on TV, it's like one thing, right? Like I'm not. How can I explain it? It's like obviously I pay to watch Padres TV, but when you watch it on TV, it's like okay, I'll just go watch something else. When I pay money to go to a Padres game, which is like an hour and a half drive for me, and I have to watch someone give up 3 home runs in a row, I have never been so upset in my life. Oh, that's not true, but you know what I mean. It was horrible, right? And then Randy Vasquez, who we haven't seen a lot of, right? He's only had 16 innings pitched so far. he hasn't looked great, right? Compared to how it was pre All-Star. 380 versus 486. That's a literal one number up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, JP Sears, I feel like JP Sears has started. Well, how am I see? Let me see. Yeah, because I'm assuming this is like again, this is post All Star game, so this is before the deadline. Randy Vasquez had some starts, so yeah, I think JP Sears has had more starts recently than Randy Vasquez, and he's actually pitched less. So that's how far he's getting in the games. Not great, right? So post All Star game, we only have one good reliever or a starter, right? Nick Pivetta. Everyone else is over a 4, and more people are over a 5 than they are a 4 right now. So that sucks, right? I mean, pre All Star, look at that. We had Pavetta. We had Vasquez for a while, even though he was a luck merchant, and then we had Michael King for a little bit, and then Ryan Berger, and then where's Kolek? Yeah, right there, Kolek. He was really good away, not great during home games, but really good away. And honestly, I'll take good at away games because right now we're not getting that, right? And then just the last 7 days, look at these innings pitched: 5, 5, 5, and this is just the last 7 days, not just one start. So in 2 starts, Nestor Cortez has pitched 5 innings, and like literally, Alec Jacob has pitched more innings, or as just as many innings as a reliever as Nestor Cortez, and David Morgan's up there, 4.2. Yuki Matsui, 4 innings. Like they're pitching like stars at this point. Honestly, that's how much we're using them. But notice that no one's gone over 6 innings. Like no one can literally no one here can qualify for a quality start. I mean, even Pavetta's last game wasn't like great. You know what I mean? I mean, he's had better games, he's had worse games, but I feel like we usually expect more from Nick Pivetta. But yeah, my point being is that sucks. But what also sucks, look at this, right? So Ryan Berger, since August and September, look at these stats: 254 in August, and his one start yesterday. Was it yesterday? It was something like that. It only has one earned run, and his ERA is at a 180. So post All Star game, his ERA is at a 241, which I know also includes the Padres a little bit, but majority right now are the Royals, and he's doing great, right? And Stephen Kolek's only had one game started against or for the Royals, and he pitched really good. I mean, he only had one earned run, 6 innings, right? And 6 innings is a lot more than any other starter on our team has gone recently. So it is horrible, 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 horrible. And they're still so young. I mean, 28's not like young. I mean, they're like close to 30, but 25 for Berger, and he's already like getting this much playing time. We cooked ourselves. We kind of cooked ourselves. And again, I'll say it again just in case you guys need the reminder. I do not hate that we traded for Freddie Fermin. I hate who we gave up for Freddie Fermin. Like, I think Freddie Fermin is good, but he's not two future good three or two. Like, Berger could be a 2 to 3 number on the rotation. Pola could be a 4 or 5, right? And they were solid enough. But for Fermin, who is, like I said, good, but not worth that much, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. So it begs the question: how do we feel about AJ Preller? This should be the last year of AJ Preller as the GM of the San Diego Padres. Can't construct a full roster to save his life this year. This is year 11 with the team, with only an NLCS to show for. Didn't trade Cease and other expiring contracts at the deadline. That I agree and disagree with, right? So clearly his goal was to win a World Series this year, and it's not like we're not going to. Like, it's not over for us, right? I'm not at all am I saying this season's over for us. We still have plenty of time, and we're still statistically almost guaranteed to make the playoffs this year. It's just how far can we go, right? So I'm not gonna fully hate him on it. Like, Preller made the decision and he executed it, right? I would rather he make a decision and go through with it than be what's the word? Not impartial, but like doesn't have his mind made up and goes back on it. You know what I mean? Can't hire a manager to save his life. I mean, again, Mike Shildt, we're giving Mike Shildt a lot of crap recently. I don't hate him overall as a manager, and honestly, even if we somehow missed the playoffs, I wouldn't want to fire Mike Shildt. I'd want him to get a better staff, like a better hitting coach. I love Ruben Niebla. Get him some statistic guys, you know what I mean? Get someone to read Twitter for once in his lifetime. But I don't hate Mike Shildt overall. We will continue to be a fringe playoff contender team and not a legit championship team. I don't know. I mean, this is a super doomer take. I don't necessarily disagree with everything they're saying, but I think it's a little too extreme. It's frustrating to watch this team. I agree. No bite and no heart unless they're playing the freaking Dodgers. To be honest, that's the opposite. I feel like we have no heart when we play the Dodgers, and we have some heart when we play other teams. Like, we watched them play the Phillies, they did good. I'm pretty sure we beat the Brewers in the season series. So, like, we can play good against good teams. It's just this team is way too inconsistent is the overall issue, is that everybody on this team is way too inconsistent, right? So that's the biggest thing. Just last one. Preller played a part in giving us some fun playoff runs, maybe even one more this year. But this is the last trade. This last trade deadline sealed his fate. I think his time here is over after the season. Leo for a reliever, Berger and Kolek for a backup catcher. That's a wrap. JP Sears and Nestor Cortez in meaningful games. Mason McCoy and Will Wagner. Come on, man. So yeah, and I can show you guys how your boy Leo is doing right now. 2025 Lansing. So he is hitting a little bit better batting average wise, 268, but he's not hitting as many home runs. So I'll let you look at the stats. If you want to say he's been playing better, whatever. I mean, obviously he's still like the number what was he like number 3 prospect overall, something like that. So 100%, it hurts that we gave him up for Mason Miller and JP Sears. Honestly, if it was more, I don't want to say if it was straight up for Mason Miller, him, I would be more happy. Because, like, I'm not disappointed we got JP Sears. I just feel like we could have got someone else. You know what I mean? Like a Shea Langoliers, which probably would have been more expensive, but like I think it would have been worth the effort. You know what I mean? Like if you already made up your mind that you're gonna get Mason Miller, at least go all in and get Shea Langoliers too while you're at it. You know what I mean? But it's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it's the choice has happened. The choice has been made. This is the fate we have been chosen for by Preller. Whether you agree with it or not is irrelevant. It happened. This is our reality. We got to deal with it, right? And I'm not dooming. I'm not saying everything's season's over. I'm not saying that this is the worst the Padres have ever been in human existence. All I'm saying is that things are not looking up for us. But again, I'm not giving up on anybody, anything, or anyone. That anybody and anyone is the same thing. You know what I mean? My brain's a little fried. Don't mind me. But yeah, that's pretty much all I really wanted to say. Let me know how you guys feel about the deadline. Do you think it kind of sealed Preller's fate and that he should be fired, including Mike Shildt? Is there any trade that you like from this trade deadline, or do you hate all of them? And yeah, just give me your best positive takes if you have any. I'd love to read some positivity for once. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully my voice will be recovered couple days. I'm super sorry I blew it out. I was yelling at Cortez so much. But thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Please subscribe. Thank you for 2,400 and have a fantastic rest of your day. Go Padres. Please win. Goodbye.